Okay, this might be an unpopular video because I sometimes struggle with the challenges of having a senior dog. You might be hearing him in the back coughing. He has congestive heart failure. He has arthritis. So he recently turned 16, and I'm doing my best to manage his chronic conditions because he's a huge part of my life. I love him to pieces. However, having said that, sometimes it's a lot. Sometimes it can be really challenging. But the point of my video is this. I literally cannot believe that humans can completely disengage and not care about the fact that animals have feelings. Even though I understand that having a dog can be challenging, I'm a single person. I have two fur children, beautiful Mambo, who's behind me, coughing and also trying to rest. And my cat, whose name is Gaia, and I love her too so much. She's about 7 years old. And these are my two babies. They're a big part of my life. I can't imagine my life without them. And at one point in my life, I knew that I wasn't going to have human children. So animals and, pets have been a big part of my life. And I hesitated there because animals in general have been a big part of my life in the last 15 years. I've spent a lot of time rescuing them, especially when I lived in Mexico for many years. Now that I'm back in the US, I actually thought that that was going to be different. I thought that I wasn't going to encounter so many situations where animals would need our help, but I've been really disappointed and just really surprised that that hasn't been the case. I cannot believe that humans can completely disengage and not care about the fact that animals have feelings, they have needs, they have a nervous system, they have an emotional world that we should pay more attention to. And so many humans have completely disregarded that. And what's been on my mind a lot lately, and it's now something that I've taken on as my own personal project, is an animal, a dog that is literally a block away. It's one of my neighbors who I hear barking constantly. Over the years, I've really, I guess, tuned in to animal behavior, nonverbal signals and verbal signals, especially when it comes to dogs and cats, because I'm around them the most, that tell us, what's going on with them. And this poor dog, I've been hearing for a few months now, and I feel guilty in a way because I really wanted to step in and help a lot sooner, but I've had so much on my own plate with, taking my parents to their appointments, my work schedule, my own senior dog, other things that have come up. And I don't want to make an excuse because this has been something, it's been a priority of mine for some time now. First of all, let me take a few steps back. I moved into this new place about 3 months ago now. So, I wanted to wait and feel out my neighborhood, feel out my neighbors, my whole living situation. So I've been wanting to address this for some time now. It was on the back burner. I finally was able to put it as a main priority. And I took the first step by the moment I saw the neighbor who I thought had the dog. I asked him, I kind of yelled out at him from across the street and I said, "Hey, can I talk to you for a minute?" And the gentleman said, "Yeah." And so I went up to him and I said, "Hey, do you have a dog in the back?" And he said, No, you must be talking about my neighbor's dog. And he said, "Come here, let me show you." And so immediately he guided me to his backyard and he pulled up a ladder. Meanwhile, I can hear the dog barking. And he said, take a step, check and see what's going on. So I stepped up the ladder and I looked over the fence and I could see this gorgeous pit bull mix. I know you must be thinking, oh gosh, another pit bull. And I mean, that's actually the immediate reaction I had, like, oh gosh, they're so vulnerable. Sometimes they don't get adopted right away. They're just harder to adopt in general. That was like, I think, my immediate reaction. But he was so beautiful, and he was behind a metal crate. There was a tree over him, but the gentleman, the neighbor, immediately was telling me, this dog is always in that crate, even in hot conditions. And I was like, wait a minute, he's there all the time? And he said, yes. You could hear him whining, crying, scratching. He's barking all the time. I kind of got used to the bark. The neighbor said to me, I've already written to the association, but they haven't done anything about it. And I was just, as he was telling me this, my heart was breaking. For me, the concern wasn't the barking. I mean, definitely it's very disruptive to be hearing barking all the time, but I was just feeling so bad for the dog in that moment. So being new to the neighborhood, I didn't know what to do in that moment. I felt like it was too much to ask the neighbor to video or take a photo. Maybe I wasn't thinking straight at that moment. But anyway, so that was that day. And I thanked him for letting me see the situation. Afterwards, sat down with him in the front porch, and I said, you know what, I'm really concerned about the dog. I really want to see what I can do. I'm going to approach the neighbors who have the dog and ask if maybe I can help in some way by walking him, or maybe helping to adopt him if they don't want him. And so anyway, that was that first encounter. After that, some things happened in my life personally. My dad was hospitalized, some other things happened, and I didn't get a chance to address the situation as quickly as I would have liked. Some time went by, actually several weeks went by, and I feel horrible saying that. I feel so guilty, but if I'm going to be authentic on this channel, I need to just be honest and tell it like it is. So several weeks went by, and finally, I have to also say that I think there was a part of me that was a little bit afraid to approach the house because I didn't know how they were going to react. You know how there's so many crazy people out there. You hear about shootings, you hear about just crazy crimes that happen that I wasn't really sure. I think I needed to get a little bit of courage built up before I went to the front door. So the other day I finally went to the front door, and I rang the doorbell. They didn't answer. I saw a cross on the wall to the left of the door, with all these nice words written on the cross. And it was just, an observation. So I waited a few minutes, and then I rang the doorbell again, and there were definitely people there because there's always at least 3 cars parked in the garage, in the driveway, if not 4. And that day there were 3 cars there. So I rang the doorbell again. I'm not sure if I said that. And I waited a few more minutes, still nothing. Nobody ever came out. Nobody answered the door. So I left there really discouraged and, didn't know what else to do at that moment. And so I just retreated to kind of think of another plan of what I could do. And that was that. That was that day. Fast forward to a couple nights ago, it was raining. And I could hear the dog barking from a block away. And literally my heart broke. I just started crying. I could even hear the dog from my bedroom. And, I just knew that I needed to do whatever it took to try to get that dog out of that situation. It just was so cruel, so unfair. Another day went by where it was no longer raining, and I was walking by the house, and I could hear the dog wailing, crying, and barking. And it's just been a super heartbreaking situation. And literally, those are moments that I absolutely hate humans. Like, I don't understand what could happen in your life that you would want to hurt other beings, other animals, other humans. I mean, I know that there are so many people walking around with a lot of horrible trauma that's happened in their life. But why? Why not work on yourself? Why not figure out ways to heal yourself and not take it out on innocent beings, especially animals that can't fend for themselves? It will forever baffle me that people would do that. Why can't we be better humans? Why can't we ask ourselves how we can be better humans? I know I can be a better human. It's something that I constantly work at because, I mean, I want nothing more than to see less suffering. It's just not fair. We need to do the best that we can, and that starts with us. I mean, I know a long time ago, I was such a shallow, unconscious person. You know, I needed to grow up and mature in so many ways. But even then, I don't remember wanting to ever hurt other people or animals. What is that all about? Please share in the comments if you feel this, if you think this, what your opinions are, because I really believe that I at least am here to continue to heal in ways that I need to heal, but I'm also here to hopefully see collective healing on the planet. And I'm really interested in what you have to say. I'll see you in the next video.